Hey, Internet, Eric here. Well, I'm finally gonna do it. I Months ago I set up a poll on my community page on YouTube, and I asked what franchise should I finally talk about, and get going on the channel. I asked if I should go back and do Tremors because I've only talked the first four of those. Should I talk Predator? Something else. I put another other air quotes category up there, or I said Aliens. And the votes were tallied after a week. We're talking alien territory now. And at the moment, I'm only going to be discussing the ones that deal with Ellen Ripley. So there will not be any, what was it called? Prometheus, at least at the moment. Or what is it? Alien Covenant. But today, I'm going to talk about the one that started it all, 1979's Alien. Now, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I discuss plot spoilers, specific scenes, what have you. Just in case for if you're one of the two people that haven't seen or know what's going on in this movie. What the fuck is that on my hat? I don't know. Don't matter. Anyways, the basic plot of this came out in 1979. Um, we are following the crew of the Sulaco, I believe it is. And they are on their way home, and they are woken up from hypersleep because they get a distress beacon from a um, source, I guess you would say. They go investigate the source. Um, One of the crew members, I believe it is Ash, I think. The one played by John Hurt. No, Kane. Kane. Played by John Hurt. He goes in and he's in this room of, it looks like eggs. And one of the eggs opens. Whatever creature is inside the egg jumps out, attaches itself to his face. He is brought back in. Eventually, that alien creature is born, and then the alien is stalking the rest of the crew throughout the rest of the movie. That's it. Um, this is directed by Ridley Scott. This is probably Ridley Scott, in my opinion, his best movie. I absolutely love this film. Look at that, and we'll definitely get into the design. First, the cast. Cast is fantastic. First off, Sigourney Weaver, debuting her iconic character of Ellen Ripley. Ellen Ripley is just, I don't know if she's like the second in command or whatever, but what I like about her, and everyone brings up that, she was originally going to be a male character, and they just changed the name. What I like about her is she is this tough female. She's not, strong like she is in the future sequels, but she doesn't take anyone's bullshit. There's a scene where she's arguing with Yaphet Kotto and fuck is his name? I don't know. Yaphet Kotto and his buddy. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. And she basically says, why don't you guys just fuck off? They razz each other. But then there is a scene where she knows the rules and she won't bend them. Like there's a quarantine rule when Kane needs to be brought back on the ship, and she doesn't want to break the quarantine rule. She says, if that thing is infected with something, it can infect us all and we could all die. She doesn't put up with any bullshit. She doesn't listen to Tom Skerritt, who is the boss, or any of that. So she's tough. She stands her ground. She doesn't take any bullshit. And then she's a great final girl. You know what I mean? She's not always this damsel in distress. And she proves that even more as the movies go on. So she's great. Yaphet Kotto is great as like one of the mechanics. Um, Tom Skerritt is very likable as Dallas, the leader. Everyone's good. Like I said, Kane, for how little John Hurt is in this movie, he's good. Veronica Cartwright. I can't think. Harry Dean Stanton. That was the guy I was talking about. That was with Yaphet Kotto giving her shit. They're all likable. Ian Holm as is Ash. Ian Holm is Ash. He is like I already said spoilers. You find out he's an android, but he is like I guess you would say the medical advisor. Maybe he seems like it to me. Um, he's really good. He's really likable until you find out he's a robot or an android, and then he gets this little psychotic twist to him. And I think that scene is horrifying because when we find out he is an android, he is there from the company because you find out it wasn't a distress beacon, it was a warning. And what is it? Sigourney Weaver finds out that the company was saying that the crew is expendable. He finds out that she found out. He tries to murder her, and it's such a disturbing scene. He wraps up. He rolls up like a newspaper. Someone tries to shove it down her throat. Now someone's gonna take that and make this a gif, right? Tries to shove it down her throat, and it's a disturbing scene. And then when Yaphet Kotto shows up, tries to stop him and save Ripley, he gets you find out something's not up because he literally grabs Yaphet right here and he just squeezes his chest. So he's got this abnormal strength. Eventually gets his head knocked clean the fuck off. And he starts spinning around, having seizures and stuff like that. They put him back together, and even though the effect is pretty cheesy, is it Ian Holmes' head through a table, when he's explaining about this creature, there's no sympathy. He doesn't care. He's a robot. He's doing his job. Anyways, long story short, the cast is great. Let's get with the design. The design of the alien is iconic. H.R. Giger. The design of the alien egg. The face huggers, which look like these little crab monsters or spiders, with a long whipping tail. The inside of any type of, I guess you would say, layer of the alien. And this here that I showed earlier is one of the creatures. I mean, we find out what they are in Prometheus. Is just so creative. They find this creature here in this gigantic, I don't know if it's a telescope or a rocket or a missile, I don't remember. And they see like this creature has its chest broken out, like something busted out of it. But just the creepy, weird designs of this shit. I love it. Giger is very sexual at times with like his I guess his artwork, but it's not overly gross or not gross, but sexual, or how would I say it? I don't want to say offensive, but you get what I'm saying. It's not over the top. But just, yeah, the design of the face hugger, the baby alien right there, the chest burster. So good. And we'll get to the chest burster scene because we'll talk about the gore in this movie. Not overly bad, if that's even a word. Probably the most gory scene is that moment where Ash wakes up. First they couldn't get the face hugger off of him because they find out this thing bleeds acid when they try to cut it off. And eventually it falls off and dies. He wakes up, they're having dinner. Everyone knows this scene. It's even been fucking parodied in Spaceballs with John Hurt returning. He starts having convulsions, and boom, blood shoots out, scares the shit out of the crew because I believe that they didn't know that was going to happen. Ridley Scott didn't tell them. And then that fucking thing rips out of his chest, and you hear like the bones crunch, and you hear this sound effect. It's like you take celery and you just twist it, like that noise. Veronica Cartwright's covered in blood. Her reaction is real, and then you just have it sitting there, and you have this close-up shot of this little chest burster covered in blood. Ian Holmes' dead body, and one thing you always notice is just pay attention when God damn it, John Hurt, when he is dead, and this thing is just still sitting there, you can still his fingers twitching, his hands twitching, the nerves, and that's a good attention to detail. And there's very little gore. Eventually, the creature, the xenomorph as we know it, grows and it starts stalking everybody. It takes a Harry Dean Stanton in a very creepy scene in a room with chains hanging down. He's looking for Jonesy the cat. That fucking cat is such a problem in this movie. And I did watch the director's cut, which has a little bit more gore in it. Harry Dean Stanton's death is a little longer. I believe what happens to Veronica Cartwright and Yaphet Kotto might be a little longer. But it's very minimal gore in this movie. And I like that because it's more atmospheric. And what I like about this, it's also very claustrophobic because the tunnels of this spaceship are very narrow. You're going from room to room. It's very dark. It's very dingy. It's very creepy, and you have that uncomfortable feeling watching this film. You feel the tight spaces. Whether it's Ripley or especially when Dallas, Tom Skerritt, he's in like the air ducts looking for this fucking thing. And it's a great jump scare. the great tension building. They have like the motion sensors, and they're trying to find out where the alien is. And suddenly he turns around, boom! It reaches out at the screen. That's it. It's the last we see of Dallas. We do see him in the director's cut. We find out what happened to him. It's neat to see, but it was it's not needed. So take it or leave it. Final confrontation. I really like how. Well, first off, one thing I hate about this movie, and it's just a nitpick, is the ship's going to explode, and Ripley goes back for that goddamn cat. You guys may think, you might say this when watching the movie, like, yeah, I would go back to my cat. I love my cat too, but it's gonna blow up. Get another cat. But that's just nitpicking. We have this final confrontation between Ripley. She's vulnerable. She's literally in her underwear, and then she blows this thing out into space, which is an ongoing theme of how the alien is defeated in this franchise. But it's another jump scare when you find out that the alien did not die when the original ship exploded. Um, Such a great movie. I highly recommend, even though I probably spoiled it for you if you haven't seen this movie for some goddamn reason. Um, Highly recommend Ridley Scott's Alien from 1979. I really love the design of that. That's the alien craft that they go into. Really cool. Highly recommend it. Great cast. Everyone's got great chemistry. The look of the aliens, whether it's adult form, chest burster, face hugger, the space jockey, a feeling of claustrophobia, the jump scares, the tension. So much is good in this film. It is a great, great sci-fi horror film. And when you get to the next one, I think they even improved. That's just me. We'll talk about it when I get there. But that's it. Like and subscribe. Tell me what you think. Is this your favorite entry in the series? Is it your favorite Ridley Scott movie? Do you hate this fucking movie? Whatever. Comment below. Like, subscribe, click the bell, all that crap. I'll be back soon talking the sequel, Aliens, directed by James Cameron. Bloody Sunday is still coming. I forgot last week, but you know what? Life's been busy. Life's been shitty. Life's been tough. But you know what? I don't know. Cheers.